Ladbrokes were taken over by Haven Holidays, and I must have been doing something right, whatever it might have been. And I quite enjoyed it at night time, because I can do that.
And no travelling, because you spent years and years driving up and down pubs, clubs, and the cabaret venues.
I remember I was given a caravan when I arrived there. Bear in mind, I'm a guy who's lived with somebody for quite a long time. I have no idea how to look after myself. I can't cook. I can't do anything. I've now got a caravan, and my first caravan had a hole in the roof with the rain coming through, with a bucket hanging at the bottom of it. So I'm now thinking, what am I doing here? But anyway, they fixed the roof. And I learned how to... Well, I remember I lived on cooked chickens from the butchers in Perranporth for quite some long time. But I learned how to cook, so that did me a favour. And I was at Perranporth. Now I'm established. I'm playing cricket there anyway. I played cricket. Saw all of Cornwall playing cricket. Then you can't stay at the same place for too long. I was then invited to go. I did 4 years there. Then I went to Great Yarmouth.
When it was then became Haven, I think.
It had become Haven the second year I was there.
Yeah.
We had gone from Ladbrokes to be Haven Holidays. So then they moved me to Great Yarmouth, to a place called Seashore. There's a number of havens up on that coast. And I was there for another 4 years.
And you loved your time at Great Yarmouth, didn't you?
Great Yarmouth was great. They didn't have a cricket club. Well, they might have.
Didn't they have racing there? A little bit of racing?
Oh, they had racing. They had racing right on the race course.
Yeah, I remember.
My place that I lived in.
You could look over.
I could, and a golf course.
So you're in heaven, basically.
The golf course backed onto Perranporth, so I got out of bed and went over the fence and played golf there. Now I've got another fence to get over and go and play golf at Great Yarmouth. So I played golf. The place was wonderful. I had mates that were doing the cabaret per week. I had Paper Lace. Remember Paper Lace?
Fabulous Paper Lace.
They were mates of mine.
Billy Don't Be a Hero.
Yeah.
And then I think that's where you did have Dennis, your friend Dennis Lotus was there.
Dennis was there, yeah.
Yeah, Dennis got some stories about him.
The night Chicago died.
The night Chicago
and
died.
Great mates. They were wonderful. Anyway, I did that. This is summertime, by the way. So I'm doing summers there.
April to October, something like that?
Yep.
March to October.
March, April, yeah. It would be, yeah. So it's a good part of my year.
And what did you do in the winters?
I did a lot of after dinner.
Sportsmen's events, I suppose.
Yes, lots of...
With your mates.
Yes, lots of sporting events, Rotary, Round Table, Masons, dinners. So I've got out to the working... Cabaret clubs now, of course, have closed. They've gone. And I also did my own radio show on Radio Stoke. So that was...
was that once a week or every day?
Sunday morning.
Sunday mornings?
10 till 12. Conway's house. There we are.
Deja vu.
And here we are
again.
And
here we are again.
And at Conway's house, that was a phone-in. Guests played records.
Wow.
Records we had. I had somebody through the glass over the other side of me. I'd go like that, and they put the record on. We had what we call needle time. So you can only allow so much needle time during the show.
Then you'd have to chat and do your patter.
Chat and the phone-ins.
Phone-ins and everything.
So consequently, I had a lot of my sports friends, Stoke players, Vale players.
Bringing in?
No, in the studio.
Oh, you let them in? You bring them in?
Oh, I bring them in the studio, yeah. So I do a chat in the studio. So we do Conway's house lasted for a while. And that was in this winter.
Yeah, and then back to the Havens.
Then back to Havens and then I went from Great Yarmouth to Scarborough.
Oh, was that Caton Bay?
Caton Bay.
Caton Bay?
Yeah, Caton Bay with Mr. Starbuck was my general manager. Character, and still is. God bless him, and I love him, and I still play golf with him.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to see him shortly. And
how many years did you do at Caton Bay?
I just did the 1 year at Caton Bay, and then I had a friend who was with me at Cornwall, who was the accommodations manager, who had been made general manager of Carmarthen Bay in South Wales.
Ah.
And there are a few problems with entertainment managers down in Carmarthen.
So they moved you over to Wales?
And they moved me to Wales from Caton Bay. So I only did 1 year at Caton Bay. Then I went to Carmarthen Bay for 4 years.
4 years.
Welsh Wales. Wonderful. And became very Welsh.
And I think that's at that point, I don't know if before, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the point that Rob started coming on holiday? Or had he already started to come on holiday?
No, 1990 I went to... Rob came to me in Cornwall.
Oh, he came every... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I tell you who he played a lot of football with when we were in Cornwall, Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Walsh, yeah, he's doing well, isn't he?
Yeah, Bradley's done all right for himself. Bradley be about 20, 21.
He was a good football player, Bradley, wasn't he? I think he could have gone pro.
Brentford. He played, he did indeed. And so Rob used to play with it. Rob would be about 9 or 10. And, let me get it right, yes. And he played with Bradley down there. Then he came...
So each holiday centre,
he came
for
Scarborough.
like in the summer, he came for the holidays.
His 6 weeks holiday was spent with me and the holiday camps.
Great.
And he loved it. They've now become holiday parks.
Parks, yeah.
Holiday villages, market.
Bit more upmarket now. Yeah. So he'd spend his 6 weeks holidays with you. Yeah. So that was where probably he was getting the bug for entertainment. He was watching you, watching the other acts, sitting backstage, meeting all the stars.
That's what Rob said. He said, I sat backstage and watched you doing what you do to me. And he said, I watched them and thought, I want a bit of this. I think this is good fun.
That was the start, where it started. The seed was planted then, and that's what he was going to do. Yeah.
Remember Sam Serrano?
Sam Serrano, I certainly do.
Sam Serrano.
Fabulous act.
Oh, Sam was
and a lovely man.
A great man. And he was in Enter the Dragon. He played Bolo. He killed everybody.
Yeah.
And when Rob was 14, we were in Great Yarmouth, and I was working with Sam, and I introduced, Rob was with me, and I said, I've got somebody for you to meet. And Rob came in, his head went back, and he went, I used to have nightmares about you.
And there he is in the flesh.
And he was with Sam, and Sam was wonderful.
Very strong act, very strong act.
Great singer.
Yeah, no longer with us.
Great presence, yeah, wonderful. Yeah. And so Rob used to come to me. And then in 1990, I was in Carmarthen Bay, and I got a phone call from Jan, and I knew about this. Rob had done this audition for this boy band that didn't have a name at this particular time. And Jan rang me and said, she was all excited, can you send him home? He's passed this audition, and they want him in Manchester tomorrow.
And how old was he then?
He was 16.
16.
Just left school. Just straight from school. Timing, spot on timing, so important.
That's what this business is all about timing.
Right place, right time.
Good luck.
I often wondered two things. One, I think, had I have stayed on the police force, he'd have grown up with policemen. And I think he'd have been a policeman.
Quite probably.
And he grew up with entity. He was from when he was no age. Because prior to that, he was doing the amateur dramatics. He was in Chitty Bang Bang, Fiddler on the Roof, Pickwick, King and I.
And he was playing lead roles in a lot of those.
Yes, he certainly was. And he was very good as well. Got a lot of stage presence that I know.
No kidding.
Yeah, well, he had then, you know. I was so pleased about it. I used to watch him and think, I know he had good parts. But he certainly worked them. Anyway... I'm in Carmarthen Bay. Get a phone call from Jan. Will you send him home? He's got this past this audition, and I had to find him because he used to go out. Just young ladies on parks. He was rather popular.
I bet he was.
I do believe. I am told reliably, and I had to find him. A big park, 5,000 people on per week, and I found him, and I told him he's got to go home. And I've got to go and take him in the morning and put him on a bus from Carmarthen Bay and send him back to Stoke. So I got him back in the following morning from the coach station, sent him back to Stoke, and then he went to Manchester. Then he's in touch. He's ringing me. No mobile phones then, of course. The only time you can go to a phone box. So I rang him, and I got an office, so I could ring from there as well. And he went and did he'd already done the audition. He went and met these other 4 guys that were going to be a member of some unnamed Kick It. Kick It was going to be the name.
Oh, was that going to be the name?
Yeah. Going to be Kick It. And then somebody saw a poster and said, take that.
And that's where,
Take That became... And so he became a member of Take That. And so I watched it with great interest. I watched them with no time at all. They're on the telly and in magazines.
Yeah, everywhere.
I remember going in Athena in Carmarthen Bay.
Let's sell posters and cards and all
posters,
yeah.
Pop groups.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at this poster in Athena thinking, I wonder if my lad will ever be on one of them.
The next minute, he's everywhere.
Yeah, I remember I was away playing golf in Mallorca, and I walked down a hill, round the corner, to a record shop. And the record shop had a big window, and in the window was a photograph, just a picture, not of the lad, just my lad's face, just Rob, just him. And
even though he was still in the band, it was just.
Oh yeah, they'd only been together 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
you imagine. And I wanted to stop people and say,
that's my boy.
You think I'm mental. And, yeah. Oh, I learned a lesson, by the way, at Carmarthen Bay. Shortly after that, they'd now taken off while I was there. I was there in 1990. By 94, I left there in 94. By 93, they were well established. And I'm one Saturday night, people have just arrived, so they don't know who I am, and they're just coming in and getting into the room. And I was in the bar next door to our cabaret room, and they were playing I Found Heaven, which Rob sang in Take That. And I'm standing by the bar talking to somebody. There's two young girls, 12, 13, trying to look 18, they were right by the side of me, and they were singing I found heaven, sweet heaven, baby, on the wings of love. And I'm looking at them, and one of them looked at me, and I said, do you like Take That? And she said, we love Take That. I said, I'm Robbie's dad. She said, are you? I'm the Queen Mother. And then they went, and she went to her father, and I thought to myself, oh dear, I'm going to be in trouble here.
Yes.
Because she's going to say to her dad,
he's trying to, yeah.
I've got some switches in my car.
Oh, gosh, yeah, you can't say anything these days.
So I had to go and find her father and say, listen, excuse me, I really am. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, wow. Them were the days. And I know this is a little bit off kilt, but how come Robbie Williams is Robbie Williams and you're Pete Conway?
In 1967, I was working at English Electric, and I was doing the working. I just started doing the working men's clubs. I'd auditioned, got into working men's clubs. I went into work. Oh yes, it was on the Sunday, in my local paper. It was the first time my name ever appeared in the. It only appeared in this particular first time ever. It said the Potters Club Hanley, appearing Sunday lunchtime, comedian Peter Williams. It said, and I got into it. My boss, Bill Pope, said to me, I saw your name in the paper on Saturday night. I said, oh yeah. He said, you need a stage name. Everybody had a stage name in the 60s. Nobody's had the real name. And he said, you need a stage name. And I said, you're probably right. So we put Pete in front of everybody's name in our office. And I worked with Colin Conway. And then we had a vote. We must have had anything to do Monday morning. We must have had nothing to do. And I worked with Colin Conway. We had a vote in the office, a good stage name. And Colin Conway, Pete Conway, became the most popular out of all the people that were there.
What a strange way to
So
go
that
with
Monday
name.
morning I became Pete Conway. It's been written in the papers that there was already a Pete Williams, so it was through equity and all that. There was nothing to do with that at all. It was just solely on that Monday morning, a vote in the office. Your name will now be. So if any agent rings you, you're Pete Conway. Anything on the boards will be. There was, do you remember Sheila Buxton? No. Right, well, I did Sheila Buxton, God bless her, was wonderful, great singer. I did a week with her, top of the bill, on the working men's clubs. And we were all over the place. And they got posters and things. And my agent, Tony James, who I mentioned earlier on, sold this show out, doing the working men. After I moved on to cabaret, but we're now doing the working men's series of one-nighters. Sheila Buxton, top of the bill. And it was, one of the nights was in Stoke-on-Trent. And it was at Stoke, whatever club.
Labour Club.
Labour Club, one of the, in Stoke itself. And I arrived, thank God I arrived there early. And when I walked through the door, it said, the Pete Conway Show, featuring Sheila Buxton and somebody else. And I said, where's that come from? They said, well, we booked the show, and we only know you. I said, you don't know she? No, we didn't know. I said, she's a big name. She does the radio and things. And so, well, I said, will you take that poster down before she comes?
Before she sees it.
Before she turns up. Yeah, so that was, yeah.